Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and thanks for joining this instance of the Antrea community meeting. That will be the last instance for this month of April 2024. For today, we have what I believe to be a very interesting presentation from Wenxi about a presentation and a demo about how to perform scale testing for Antrea. That's going to be very interesting, I presume. So, Wenxi, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Salvatore. Hello, everyone. Firstly, let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. My presentation today will be divided into 4 parts. And firstly, I will introduce the background of the true scale test. And then I will introduce the main features of the actual skill test too. And finally, I will make a demo to show you how to use the skill test tool. And feel free to raise questions if you have any during this presentation. Okay, let's start. Speaking of the motivation behind developing this tool, I think there are several aspects. Firstly, the purpose for Kubernetes CNI scale testing is to evaluate the performance and scalability of CNI within Kubernetes cluster. And secondly, it's essential to compare the performance between different CNIs to understand our shortcoming or advantages. And certainly, important concern is that large scale testing requires a vast amount of cluster resources. So can we use simulated agent to conduct testing to save resource and achieve the goal of scaling test within fewer cluster nodes. And finally, during the development of this tool, we also found that a good development framework is very important. So we expect that the skill test tool to make it easy to add more test cases for new features. Next, I will introduce the features of the Antrea skill test tool from the following specs. Firstly, is it's easy to scalable, whether it's a cluster with a single node or hundreds of nodes. You can execute the test with just a command line. And second is configurable. You can configure the test parameters through just a YARN file. Then you can execute the test with just a command line. for example, like this, yeah. And the configuration field can be divided into two parts. The first part control the scale of the test, and the second part control different test cases through the combination and arrangement of individual test cases. For example, if we want to test whether the startup speed of the agent is affected after creating many data policy or services, you can place the scale you can place the restart control restart agent after the scale services, and also we can control we can control the number of the number of tests by setting the repeat times parameter. If we want to test the performance of the controller with very limited node resource, we can use the real node parameters. Once we disable these parameters, the system will use simulated control agent. The simulator will watch the controller just like the real control agent, and it makes us able to simulate a large number of control agents in a very small number of nodes. It will be very useful for control scale testing without having to create a very large cluster. Regarding the extendability of the test framework, we have designed a model which test data is separate from the framework, and you only need to design the test cases and add a separate YAML file. Then you write and reject the test cases, and the detailed steps can be broken down into the following steps. Firstly, you add the YAML file in the specific field path in the performance cells in this field, and secondly, you can write and readjust the test cases, and finally, you can configure the test case to the configure field and execute the test script, just like this command line. And for some common functional features like network policy and services, the scale test tool can run tests on different Kubernetes platforms, and we can compare the performance metrics of different CNIs. Finally, I think the very important the Antrea skill test tool was to integrated the media and the monitor tools with Prometrics and Grafana. It's easy to value the metrics such as CPU and memory usage and the number of services or net policies during the test process. Yeah. Okay. That's introduction, and let's take a look at the testing result of the skill test through a demo. Let me share my other screen. This is a single node cluster, and you can see that there are only one node in this cluster, and I have made a test just now, and it's and we can see the results of the skill net policy and restart controller and restart agent. We can execute the Antrea skill 2 and just see the results. Okay, and it will take about 5 to 10 minutes. Due to the time limits, we'll only start the test and without waiting for the real-time results. And let's go back to the PowerPoint, and I will show the test results we have made. There are many two test cases, and one is skill net policy. The net policy test case and the skill steps are as following. Firstly, we install Kubernetes and secondly we deploy the Antrea or some other things such as Calico or Selenium or etc. And thirdly, we scale up hundreds of namespace and thousands of posts, and then we scale up the net policy. And finally, we will check the connectivity or isolation between the client port and the server. We have made we have got the test cases. The result are as following. The green, the deep green line is the number of the net policy with the namespace number. The average enforcement time of the net policy remains below 1 second, or below 500 microseconds. And the next part is scale Celsius, almost the same. And this is the result. The average enforcement time is about one second. Yeah. And another part is control scale, control egress scale test, but this part is not finished yet. So we didn't have more results. Yeah. This is all of my presentation today, and feel free to ask any questions. And we already have a magic request in the upstream repo of Antrea. And if you have any question, or you can give some comments under this magic request. Okay, this is all of my presentation. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Wenxi. And before we go with all the team's questions, I have a quick question for you regarding future developments. Are you planning to, is there a plan to extend this work, for instance, to also include network policy enforcement scale and do skill testing, including also verifying how fast network policies can be enforced and how the system works when network policies are enforced? Or like any sort of future development that you have already in mind for this activity?
I'm trying to understand your question. You mean that do we plan to add more test cases for
Yeah,
some?
so
I
that's right. I get that you're adding to add more test cases, but I wanted to understand if by more test cases you're also expanding on covering more Antrea features in the scale plan, like adding, for instance, support for network policies, but maybe in the future there could also be support for the Antrea load balancer. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we plan to develop more test cases and do based on this test framework, and we have already developed the control scale control egress based on this framework, and I think maybe I think next future is control egress skill test case. Lately we can support more features. Yeah.
Yes, Salvatore. I think one of the goal is to make this framework to be extendable, which means in the future it might be easier for developers to add different test cases for different features.
Okay, that's great.
Venki, so like currently you are only testing like all the network policies, or like feature based, like Antrea egress, only Antrea egress tests have been done, or like all the features have been tested?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. So can you?
Okay, so let me put this way. So this scale test which you have done, right? Like this includes like network policy which you are applying, like network policy test, or other tests as well, like for example, conformance and other tests, or feature-based test as well. For example, egress and other features which you have. So, I mean, what all tests you have executed in the setup?
Ranish, I think for now I think there are only two major cases. One is for service realization time, and another is for the network policy realization time in Wenqi's current PR. And he's also working on the egress feature, but it's still in progress. So actually, if you are asking for the features, then you can think there are two major features. One is for service, another is for network policy.
Yeah, that was my question.
Mhm.
And whether this setup is like I saw that you said the real node you are setting it as a false. So it is a simulated environment test result or like actual test setup you have?
I think Wenqi's environment, it's started with 15 work nodes. And I'm not sure, Wenqi, do you have also installed a simulator, Antrea simulator in your test environment?
Yes, we have tested in the 15 nodes and with many simulator agents in the test bed.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I'm not sure, Ranish, what's your what's
Uh,
your
Yeah,
focus?
so there was an option. I think he showed that like we can set real node equal to false. So that in that case, like the real node, it's like it will be simulated, right? So I was just
Yeah.
wondering, like the results are based on that, or is it like you're setting real node equal to true, and then the results are like that?
Oh,
So
I
yeah.
think it's a mixed environment with a
Okay.
real
Okay.
node and also simulator nodes, agents.
Okay. I see. Yeah, that was the question.
Yeah, hi, Wenqi.
Hey,
Yeah, I have a question that in your slides, you mentioned that the framework can not only test it Antrea, and maybe in the future we can even test it other CNI. So I'm curious on which part of the framework can be extended to test other platforms. I may miss this part.
Yes, for some common features, such as we have already developed the test case for net policy and the test case for services. For these two parts, we can already support in different CIs.
So you mean we can replace the step install Antrea to install other types of CNIs, right?
No.
Uh-huh.
We in this test tool we didn't install any CIs. We before test we must ensure that you have installed the CI already, and then we execute the test. Let me show you the test case. For example, the net policy. The first and the second step is install, cast, and deploy CI. And these two steps are not included in the test tool. So you can deploy any CI full step.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. We can also see the YAML file. If we use this test tool in yeah, in different CI such as clinical or Selenium, we just set the skill with the agent and controller repeat times to 0. Because these two test cases just designed for control, so you just need to set the repeat time to 0, and then it will not process these two test cases during the whole testing process. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the clarification.
Okay. Any more questions?
When can you? I think you had a slide about metrics for the Antrea components. So does the framework deploy Prometheus and Grafana as well for metrics visualization?
Yes. If we want to use the CPU and memory usage, we can just enable the record Prometheus parameters, and then the test tool will deploy Prometheus and the Grafana in during this testing. Yeah.
And what kind of like metrics do you export? Is it possible to track the memory usage for the Antrea controller, for example? Or is it just like the normal Antrea metrics?
I think it's in like the normal metrics, we you for example, the CPU and memory and the number of net policy and number of number of services. Actually, if you want to get more information, you can you can change the configure field of the parametrics or the Grafana YARN field.
Okay, so it sounds it's a normal metric exported by Grafana. So okay. By
yes,
Antrea,
yes.
sorry, by Antrea.
Hi, Wenjie. I have a small comments on the metrics you listed for the two test cases. Can you turn to that page?
You mean this page?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I see actually the net policy number is just a reference, right? However, it looks not a straight line. I guess it's only because the interval of the the point are different. Some are 45, some are 100. So the line is not straight. In Antrea's case, the matrix is constant regardless of the number of neural policies. However, if we compare other CNIs, this may be misleading. So perhaps better to define the step between the test cases in a constant way, so that the metric we can get how the matrix is related to the the scale more straightforward. Just a minor suggestion about how the metrics are exposed. Yeah, so for example, I guess with IP tables implemented narrow policy, the line for effective time may be related to the number of narrow policy. And if the narrow policy, the line of narrow policy number itself is not straight, maybe the matrix line could be confusing.
I understand you mean we can set the net policy number at this point. Yeah. And then
or you can add more space between the last two metric. So this at least the number, the net policy number line could be straight to show to better show how the matrix is related to the scale.
Oh, okay, I got I will actually I will I think it's easy to get this result. Thanks for Trea's advice. Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, do we have we used this framework to test any other CNI to compare the result?
Yes, I have tested in Canonical Kubernetes cluster with the CNI Canonical. But the result is not published. If anyone are interested in the result, I think I will share with you offline. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I think there are some additional, like for example, without applying the network policy, right? Like, what is the performance? Like, if we, let's say we don't have any network policy applied, it's only CNI. So in that case, do you have that kind of a test as well in this? So you don't have any network policy applied. It's just like Antrea applied, right? And then what is the performance? And then you apply the network policy, and then also on top of that we apply encryption, right? So that kind of.
Yeah, I think once you already added these kind of test cases, right? One is for service, another one is for the pod connectivity. But I didn't see any data for the pod connectivity results. Do we have that kind of test result?
Yeah, because customers are going to use kind of applying network policy only mode, and then have encryption as well later. So then what is a performance there in those terms?
Ranish, you mean the network policy only mode?
Yeah, correct. Network policy is applied, and then on top of that, we have also encryption, IPsec, right?
I guess you will need to define what's the performance here. Otherwise, what to measure? The point of the current two test cases are to measure the effective time of a specific resource, like how long it takes to realize a service or a net policy. By not having these resources, you may have to define what you want to measure first. For example, it could be how long it takes for a pod to be up and running and be able to connect to the external network or another port, yeah, or just the CPU or memory usage when creating these resources in batch. So, Rajneesh, if you define the metrics first, then I think with the framework we should be able to add test cases to do the scaling and then collect the metrics and present it. Eventually.
Yeah, so metrics wise, like mostly it is like when we are using and CNI, right, Antrea. So we would like to see, you know, CPU, RAM, that is the basic thing, and then bandwidth and that kind of thing, like how when network policy is there, and then when encryption is also applied by customers, then what is the like CPU, RAM uses, things like that. Like it should not be like should be shutting down the that node and those kind of things. So yeah, so see, majorly what we are looking at is like the metrics which are like important for system point of view, which is like CPU, RAM, bandwidth, and yeah, those kind of things.
Yeah, I agree. CPU and memory are important metrics we should care about. Yes.
Good. I believe that we start a conversation in this direction, there could be hundreds of questions that we are going to ask. I believe that, you know, personally, I believe that starting from a skill test assessments that starts, let's say, from a control plane matrix is a very good point. And then, you know, on top of that, we can also add, let's say, data path monitoring. And I believe that everything that we've seen in this here is great. It's a really good addition to the tools that we have to assess the performance and scalability of Antrea. Do we have any additional question for Wenqi? Looks like we don't. Your last chance to ask a question. And that may be all for today. So thanks a lot, Wenqi, and thanks a lot for sharing this presentation. And most importantly, thanks a lot for the work that you've been doing here. And I would like also to thank everybody for attending this meeting. And with that, it's a good night for me, for the folks on the United States, and good afternoon for everybody else on the call. Thanks, and see you in 2 weeks' time.
Thanks.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.